We are live.
Live and direct.
Episode 23. The Michael Jordan episode.
The Michael Jordan episode?
Who else is number 23?
I don't know.
It must be the Michael Jordan episode.
I forgot he was number 23.
You know what Michael Jordan did at one point in his career?
He sang a song?
No, he retired.
It went a little bit like this. Arty Time, Arty Time, Arty on, excellent.
I'm sorry, Adam, I can't already on with you anymore.
Why can't you already on with me anymore?
I'm retired.
You're retired from what? You're an artist. Artists just get to sit at home and paint. How can you retire from that?
Well, right now we're not sitting at home painting, are we?
No, that was sarcastic, by the way. I think if anyone's watched Arty Time up until now, you know there's a lot more to it than sitting and painting. But yeah, I'm sad to hear this news. So explain a bit what's going on. I don't get it. This is like coming out of left field. I
can't spill the beans. I can't say it all up at Arty Time and give away the whole show, but I'm retired, so it's going to be like normal Arty Time. I'm going to pass you the mic and I'm going to listen to what you have to say about your week. You spent the week at Buddha Bazaar.
I spent the weekend at Buddha Bazaar, yeah. It was kind of bizarre. It was the event was very much catered to my crowd, but there was a few things that I learned that I needed to up my game on my vending in person. Two things that I discovered that I need to add to my booth is I need a chair that's tall that I can sit on and still be at eye level with people. Because standing on my feet all weekend, especially during times when it's a little slow, especially during the morning when I was setting up, from 10 to 11, it was pretty slow for the first hour. And then on Sunday at this event, there was another big event in Montreal, the Terry Fox Run. There was a ton of traffic because all kinds of streets were closed off for this charity run. So it made driving around the part of town where this event was held at very difficult, and I think that's a big part of the reason not that many people were there on Sunday, but it was a pretty slow day, and it's really important to be at eye level, or as close as eye level as you can be based on your height and who passes by.
Of course, we call that the Air Jordan.
Yeah, the Air Jordan, the 23. This is the 23 seat. Oh, wait, isn't there a movie called 23 with Jim Carrey? A horror movie?
Is it, I don't know if it's horror, but it's definitely suspense where you start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
So
and he starts going crazy, yeah.
Jim, if you're watching this one's for you. Episode 23.
Mm-hmm.
So it shouldn't be because Jim Carrey's a painter now, so it should be the Jim Carrey episode, not the Michael Jordan episode. Or it can be both.
They did a show in Montreal.
Because now we get to hashtag Jim Carrey and Michael Jordan in this on the description on YouTube, so because we talked about them. So.
But he did a show in Montreal, and it was like pieces of paper. It wasn't even like paintings.
Oh, I don't know. I sometimes follow what he does. I mean, he does a lot of angry political art, and I don't know. I saw a brief documentary where he was interviewed in his studio and talked about how painting is like a way for him to express himself and get things out of his head that bother him, and I can totally relate to that side of it. So.
Yeah, me too.
So I guess that's.
And it's a good way to make a message and.
So the one back to before I lose the train of thought, the first thing I need is a chair that's elevated, Air Jordan chair, yeah, the chair Jordan, so you can sit and look at people in the eye, and kind of be elevated above your table, and just be at the proper height, I don't even know what you call that, like a workstation chair, one of the ones that's elevated up and it's got like a ring to rest your feet on.
I'm sure you need something else. I'm sure you need like an Air Max or something.
No, the next thing I needed was the sign. Yeah, I need a sign, and they have I could get one that's not retractable, just a banner, but they have these trade show banners that are called retractable banners. You can get them on Vistaprint.
And this is just about broadcasting who you are at a larger.
Yeah, and here's
a larger distance and with more clarity, so when they come up, they know what they're coming up to.
Exactly, and here's why for me it was an issue this weekend. I have a lot of merch, and I have a lot of different items. I have clothing and bookmarks and different silk scarves and all kinds of things with my designs on them available for people. So when somebody approaches my table, it's not always clear that I'm an artist. Because in events I can't usually bring my largest paintings. I mostly bring my small ones, and they think they're tiles and things like that. They don't get that they're paintings, even though I put signs everywhere that says painting, acrylic paint on canvas, in English and in French. Anyway.
Because you have a lot of products.
Yeah, I have a lot of products, so I understand how it can be overwhelming and confusing to somebody that doesn't know what they're looking at. So, whereas I do local events where, it's 2 blocks from my house, and I run into people that I went to high school with, or that were my teachers, or scout leaders, or like people that went to my church, or people that, like I went to elementary school, I just end up running into a lot of people that know who I am without needing to know anything else about me. They just, hi Adam, they know who I am face to face. Whereas if I'm at these other events that are a little further from home, I'm realizing people don't know who I am as much, and it's not as clear what I do, so having a sign is important. And for the slow times a day, or events where, it doesn't work out and there's not a lot of people coming by your table, it's good to have somewhere to just, rest your feet and your back. So that you don't miss those opportunities of the people that do come by, and you're sitting there because you're tired of standing all day for 20 minutes when no one's walking by. So it's really important at those slow events to give yourself as much chance as possible to at least break even or make a little bit of money, to be at eye level with people as much as possible. But it's hard to stand all day when you're bored and nothing's going on. So having one of those elevated chairs is going to be next investment I make, along with one of those retractable banner signs that you can store them easily and just.
What are you gonna write on it?
At an event? No, well, you design them on Vistaprint.
What are you gonna write though?
I probably add a mill word, Nexus Visions, art and design, something like that. Just make it clear. Not.
I would write 5-star mandala painter. And people are like, whoa, 5-star? And you're like, yeah.
Actually,
my rating on Facebook is 5-star. Check it out. 5-star Facebook.
I may just, at the next event, you know what I noticed was kind of funny? There was a lot of spiritual healers and things like that, and tarot card readers, and people were lining up to take advantage of those services on the busy day on the Saturday. So I might just cancel the whole art thing.
It's tough futures.
No, you're in retirement from your art career, so I think it's...
We're going into business together.
No, I'm starting the Church of Bootleg Jesus, and I'm going to go,
have you heard the good word?
Have you heard the word of Bootleg Jesus?
Have you heard the good word?
Exactly.
You can retire too.
Yeah.
We can all retire.
Just join the Church of Bootleg Jesus. Here's our pastor and minister, Bob Ross 3000.
If you retire, you'll be happy.
So yeah, I learned a few things, even out of an event that wasn't super successful. I basically broke even. I lost maybe $10 or $20 on the weekend.
On food and transit and shit?
No, just period. After of course I spent money on food and whatever.
You got that cake.
That came, that's things I would have bought anyway, so I don't call that a loss. I would have had to eat, and I would have had to move around anyway.
No, that one saving grace is that cake that you got. Pure celebration. That was cake. If we can only get that recipe.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've sent out the request.
I'll come out of retirement if you get that recipe.
Well, you might be coming out of retirement tomorrow then, bud. Because, she's pretty...
No, but I have to be able to...
the reason we're talking about the cake is both of us are on keto diet. Finding anything sweet and tasty that resembles, non-keto food isn't always easy, and we found a lady
the
who
perfect
makes
cake.
The perfect cake, yeah.
Now, this cake only needs a name.
I think it has a name.
The Chewy Susie.
The Chewy Susie.
Pretty good.
It is pretty good.
And if with the right font and graphic, this is a $1 million cake right here.
But I think
Chewy Susie. No one knows how to make the Chewy Susie.
The Chewy,
we know how to make the Chewy Susie once we find out how to make the Chewy Susie.
I love it. See, he's not actually retired. He's just deciding to become a baker now instead.
That would be the joke, yeah, when I come out of retirement. It's because of the Chewy Susie.
And then, you know what? Put your...
I know with all my success,
get one of those,
again.
Yeah, exactly. Get one of those, the paint with, the icing bags where you paint icing and just bootleg icing on your cakes,
Oh,
and
it's
then
so
you're
perfect. It was powdered sugar on top. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Mhm.
It's perfect. As long as you hold the recipe.
Mhm.
Seriously.
We're gonna have to find out. I've sent her a message.
We're gonna take out the baking powder and we're gonna call it the
Her
chili
job and her goal is to make it easy for people to go on keto diet and to encourage them. So my gut feeling is that she does share that. I didn't ask her for the recipe because I hate cooking. He doesn't hate cooking. So like, yeah, if he was there, he would ask.
And I'm around enough people who are buying food. They're slamming food in their face constantly. That's where our world is people going around. I've worked for this money. Here's the money.
It's yeah, that's me. I don't enjoy cooking. For me, it's an art form I don't enjoy. My brother loves cooking.
If you come with a cake in front of these people, it's going down their trap.
Well, it went down mine, that's for sure. When I found out I could eat this thing on my keto diet and it tastes amazing, yeah, it's delicious. So yeah.
So we're gonna become bakers. And
No,
what was
you're
your
gonna
thing?
become bakers. I'm not retiring.
It's a religious thing. You
I'm
said it
not
was
retiring.
religious.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll retire. I'll be a bootleg.
Saint Susie, Chewy.
The Church of Bootleg Jesus and like that's
By
the
the bread,
sacrament. That's the sacrament. The Chewy Susie.
It's so good though. Okay, so coming soon we will have one. We'll have one on the table one day.
Yeah.
The Chewy Susie.
Yeah.
Right now it's
because it's gonna be so easy for people that are watching a video to tell anything about it other than how it looks.
No, we're gonna try it live.
Live.
And we're gonna have live reaction. Oh,
well, this is pretty much a live reaction.
No, with the actual Chewy Susie. Right now it's some like other cake that we just need the recipe of.
Yeah,
it's not important.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Mm-hmm.
But that's business in a sense.
It is. So like, yeah.
And art at the same time.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, like another part of going to events is networking and meeting people, and I met some cool people. I ended up buying a pendant from another artisan there, and it was just an awesome weekend. There was a girl who was selling crystals whose table ended up being like pretty much right in front of mine, and I had my crystal grids with me, and I had no crystals to put on them. So this lady was across the street. This girl, it was across the street. I mean, across the way from me, like. And so I bought a bunch of crystals from her to display on my thing, and then she came over and looked at my grid, and she's like, "These are beautiful." So she ended up buying a bunch of my crystal grids from me. So, it was a good networking thing. And even though I didn't really make money, if she ends up ordering more crystal grids from me down the line, it may end up working out in my favor that I went to this event and met this girl. So, good vibes at the end. And that's part of what it's about to have an art career, is trying to focus on the positives, leave the negatives behind as much as possible, and
how
grow.
many painters were there when you were at the booth there?
There was 2 other people who were painting. They weren't only painting. One of them had a couple of paintings with her, and she was mainly doing like henna, and kind of like the paintings are like a side thing. She was really focusing more on the henna, and then another one was she did paintings, but they were more like done with an intention of being like energy healing things. Like they weren't very detailed. They were mandalas, so it was kind of cool that vibe was there too. But it was a very different approach. Like the art wasn't what she was focusing on. She was focusing on the healing and the crystals. She had crystals glued onto her canvas, which I've never wanted to do because over time the glue will get brittle. They'll break off the canvas, and it'll be a ruined piece of art, Like I don't want to do that to people who spend a lot of money on my paintings. Give them something that I know is gonna probably fall apart.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, there were a couple other people doing, and then there was one lady that painted on feathers that was there, which is for her it's like a spiritual thing. Like it's found feathers, and painting on feathers is like a.
What did she paint on?
Little scenes like birds and little, but yeah, I think.
I can imagine them just being like red and yellow.
No. They're like actually like painted and put in a nice frame. They're beautiful.
I'm gonna look into that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some seagull feathers.
I don't know how she does it. Like I don't know how the technique is done without moving the bristles of the feather as you're painting on. I don't know how it's done, but. I'm sure there's a technique to it that if you go like search painting on feathers on YouTube, but like watch the rest of this episode first before you go do that. Like don't retire on us and be like, I'm retiring on Arty Time.
I'm retiring.
I'm going to watch feather painters.
I have all the time in the world to watch feather painting.
All right. Well, if you want to talk about another cool art form, look up Ebrew. Do you know what Ebrew is?
No. I honestly don't.
It's a Turkish method of painting, and basically it's laying. And I don't know exactly what it is, if it's ink or paint or what, but it's laying ink. I guess it's for the sake of not knowing, I'm gonna call it ink. They lay ink on patterns on water, and the ink that they use floats, and then they lay down a paper on it after that, and they pick it up. Mm-hmm. And like I've seen almost the same technique used in reverse, where like the pattern is put and then they dip a piece of metal into it and pull it out, and then it's like that pattern stays on the metal. So I don't know if those two techniques are related or it's the same materials, but anyway, it's a really interesting art form, and just for the sake of looking at something pretty cool, go look it up. It's spelled Ebru, I think, Ebrew, and it's a something pretty cool to look at.
What does it mean? All like, whoa, crazy.
Well, it depends. There's different artists that have different styles of it. You can layer them where there's like a drop, and then it's weird because of the fluid underneath. It makes the ink react in very cool ways, and mix in different cool ways. And
I'm into that. I'll use that.
And then like say for example, like you might make like 3 or 4 dots, and then like it'll come out like flower petals with a center, and then he goes like with a finger, and it'll go like that, and it'll pull down like a stem, like, so it's a mix of different techniques where you can actually move it around and manipulate it with your hands or a stick, or I don't know.
And then they put the paper on?
Yeah, and then at the end and I don't know again if it's a special kind of paper or just a regular paper, or if it has a special coating to adhere to the ink or whatever.
Just pour it so it can suck it up.
Yeah, but it's a super neat technique to watch. So yeah, anyway, so now that you're retiring, I guess you can share some of your other business secrets that you've got. Because like I've been pretty busy at the last 2 week at events, and I haven't done a lot of the online things that I've needed to do over the last couple of weeks, which is, it's catching up to me. I need to get back on the internet and start making some posts on all my social medias, because I've kind of been ignoring them because I've been busy either getting ready for it or recovering from being on my feet all weekend, and price tags and deciding what to pack and bring to each unique event and stuff like that. So, there's some preparation, and then there's some unpacking time coming home from that. And, I just have, between that and my day job, I'm like day 16 or something now without a day off. So I'm kind of tired.
I feel you on that. That's part of what the retirement's about. It's like trying to just remember to take some time to myself, and if I say I'm retired, then I'll hopefully do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm working tomorrow.
No?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see, eh?
I should do some posts. Should just go to the post office. Oh, I have a painting. This is a real issue here that I need your advice on. I sent a painting to this guy with a tracking number. It's there. It sits around. He doesn't pick it up. It gets sent back to me. Bro, I paid $80 to ship it. So now they want $80 to unlock it and $80 to ship it again.
What do you mean 80 to unlock it?
They won't give it to me unless I give them $80.
The post office?
Yeah, they have it. Because it came back from the spot that it cost $80 to go to. So now
you checked return at my expense, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's back. Oh, so it was abandoned, bro. This is a piece of painting. This is the painting. I'm not even sure what it is at the moment. So there it is, in a box. And what do they do?
Wow, honestly, that situation's never happened to me. That's pretty crappy on the client's part for not picking up the thing they ordered. The guy paid you already?
Of course.
And has he contacted you and asked where his painting is and what's going on?
He contacted me that he didn't check his tracking. And when he finally went, they were like, yeah, we sent it back. Okay, so I'll message you when I get it back. Now I got it back, and I said, yeah, it's going to cost $160.
Mm-hmm.
This whole shebang is like 160.
At the end of the day, it's honestly the client's fault and not yours. So as much as the right, like, look, here's where it sucks for artists when it comes down to, well, the client's always right, because look, in this case, the client's not right. Like, you paid for something, you shipped it to them, the client abandoned the package and didn't take notice on their door and go to the post office and pick it up in a timely manner, and you shouldn't be held responsible for paying for that. It shouldn't come out of your pocket. It shouldn't affect your business and your profit margins because they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. So at the end of the day, it's unfair for that person to expect you to cover the bill. It sucks as a business owner or as like a salesperson to have to tell your client, like, look, I know it sucks, but unfortunately, like, if you want me to send that painting to you, you're gonna have to pay the shipping because I can't afford to take it out of my wallet. It wasn't my fault, and I held up my end of the bargain. I shipped it. I sent you the tracking number. You didn't pick it up. That's not my fault. You know, if you typed in the address wrong and you didn't pick it up because you shipped it to the wrong address, that's a whole other story.
The worst part is I charged him 40 on the ship and it was 80 and I covered it. I was like, whatever, I covered it.
So yeah, you can't.
And now it's 160. Mm-hmm. It's just like,
that's terrible. That's a shitty situation. That it's unfortunate that happens, but because honestly, a lot of times I've seen artists get a bad rap about fulfilling their end of the bargain, that they take a long time to send out paintings. Jerm and I were very professional with that. If you place an order with us, we ship your stuff out ASAP. We don't make you wait months or even weeks. You'll usually get your stuff within, business days time. We're not Amazon. It's not going to be overnight. But within 4, 5, 6 business days, you'll have your stuff if you place an order with us. So when a client doesn't fulfill their end of the bargain, or if a client gives us the wrong address, which has happened to me. Like, I've had somebody give me the wrong address and I shipped them their thing, and then they literally didn't let me know for like 6 weeks. Finally, he wrote me back 6 weeks later like, hey, I never got my thing. And I'm like, well, I sent it to this address. And he's like, bro, I haven't lived at that address for 5 years. And I'm like, well, bro, that's the address in your PayPal that's under the I have to send it to that address or else I don't have seller protection from. So if you didn't double check your address that's on your PayPal, like, that's not my fault. And the guy got pretty upset with me and, asked me to send him his thing again. And I'm like, look, A, I already shipped it. B, I lost the product because I called the post office and whoever lives at that address now accepted the package. So, like, you can either go knock on their door and ask them where that thing that you ordered from me is, or, like, there's not much I can do about it, Like, they stole it from you at that point. It's literally a theft, and you should call the post office and say, this package was addressed to me. I sent you the tracking number. I sent it. It was addressed to you. It's on the bill. So call. Like,
what was it?
It was a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
One of my woven blankets. So anyway, things like that where the client is wrong. Sorry, the client's not always right. If you made a mistake and sent me the wrong address, it's not my business's expense to fix that for you. It's your problem. And if that's going to make you not want to do business with me in the future, well, that's okay. I don't want to do business with you in the future if you're going to expect me to pay $100 plus out of my pocket because you can't fill in an address properly. Or because you didn't take the time to go pick up the package that got there and that I know the post office put at least 3 notices on your door before they shipped it back to me. Like, that's not my problem. I'd love to be able to send it to you. I'd love to be made of money and be like, don't worry about it, man. Here, I can ship it to you. The $160. Don't worry, my kids don't need that money. My fridge is full. I'm independently wealthy. Sure, here you go. But that's not the case when you're running a small business as an artist. For most people.
No, I'd love to say those lines. That sounded amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, excuse me for just being honest.
No, yeah, sometimes you need to hear that.
And sometimes clients need to hear that, and like people that buy art and collect art need to hear that, because the one time that their thing takes longer to get there than it should because it's Christmas time. For example, Christmas time, I even put a note on my website that says around Christmas time from the middle of November until around after Christmas, things are going to take longer than usual. If you order from me in June and I mail it the next day, it's probably going to get to your door in 4 or 5 days. If you order it from me December 12th, mail's full of mail at that time of year. It's not my fault if things take longer. So like if something takes 8 days and you order it right before Christmas and you expected it to be there for Christmas and it said right on the page where you check out, orders placed after December 12th cannot be on or after December 12th cannot be guaranteed to arrive before Christmas. Don't write me a letter and say, hey man, it's Christmas tomorrow, where's my thing? Like, hey man, you placed the order from the thing where it has the disclaimer that if you place the order on that date or after, it's not going to be there before Christmas, or probably not. Like, there's a chance it is, but you're gambling at that point. So, that's another situation that's happened to me where, like, the client's not always right. That should be the episode of this one. Germ's retiring and the client's not always right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Germ, it's your retirement party, I guess.
That's why I had cake.
That's why you had cake.
And there's muffins after, too.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think I have forgotten about the
Yeah,
muffins.
there's definitely muffins, and I haven't tried the muffins yet.
The muffins...
I think she's like, she knows what she's doing. She's like a dealer. She gives you, because I bought a cake, and then she gave me the muffins for free. So, like,
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure it's like,
And she could probably make those muffins into a big cake, and that's probably what the...
Probably.
That
so.
chocolate thing is probably the chocolate cake.
Probably, yeah. We're gonna have to try these. It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it.
Was the chocolate cake, did it have a topping?
No, but I would like to make my own icing.
How?
With
cream cheese?
No, yogurt. The 10% yogurt.
Oh, yeah, it's not liquid or...
No, it's not liquid. It's 10% fat, bro. You've had this before, haven't you? Yeah, it's 10% fat, so just mix a little bit of stevia or whatever. Not a lot, just enough to like layer it. Actually, I might do that on my next piece of cake. Yeah, that's the ticket. Or on the muffin even. On the muffin, bro. I'm gonna put it on the muffin and then it's gonna become a cupcake and it's no longer a muffin.
The joys of retirement.
The joys of retirement and keto diet.
I'm very excited.
See, I've unintentionally done a social media retirement for the last 2 weeks, I guess, because I posted a little bit about my events though, and actually it's kind of funny. Those posts did a pretty good reach, which is rare, so that's awesome. And I guess it shows everyone that I'm out there doing stuff still. Just because I'm not posting on social media all the time doesn't mean I'm not doing nothing on my art career. I'm always working on something. Right now, I'm actually working on something cool that's like. It's more for my art collection than my art career. It's more for Germ's art career. But that's pretty cool because like I'm gonna be one of the few people that's gonna have a piece from Germ D after he retired. It's gonna be like the après retirement special, and it's gonna be fantastic. In fact, it might force him to come out of retirement. We'll see.
There'll be the post-retirement phase. Don't worry about it.
There's got to be a post-retirement phase.
We'll start calling it post-retirement.
Yeah, it's like the the going away tour and then the coming back tour.
First we get the cake recipe.
The cake
then
recipe.
We get the money. Then we get the power. And then we become artists.
See, I already got I already getting the money. I don't need the cake recipe. I'm getting the money from my advertising sales power.
That's not a rush.
For me, it is.
It's not a rush.
For me, it's such a rush. It's such a rush when
Turning
somebody says
cake
yes,
into money.
Bang. The thing is like I'm honestly a little bit of an addict to sales. I worked in sales my entire adult life, and selling art. When I was selling art often, and people were hitting my website, and I was making 20 sales a week through my website, whether it was stickers or blah blah blah. I was just getting constant sales. I was constantly getting that adrenaline rush. But with social media, making my flow to go from a nice river to a trickle. I wasn't getting that rush anymore as much, and it wasn't keeping me motivated to keep working on my art career as much. Now I'm getting that rush from other places. I'm getting money. I'm getting debts paid off. I was able to do these events, and like I lost money this weekend at Buddha Bazaar, or barely broke even. Let's say I didn't lose a ton of money, but I barely broke even. And it's not devastating. It's not like I can't pay the rent and now I have to scramble to find money from somewhere else, and I don't have food in the fridge, and like I'm not getting home going, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Now you have cake.
Now I have cake and I can eat it too. So yeah, so that's a benefit. So I mean, we were also talking before the camera went on that one thing I said earlier in an earlier episode, like episode 4 or 5, before I had gotten a job, that once you have a job and your income comes from other places, it is really hard to find the same level of motivation to work as hard on your art career, because the money is coming from somewhere else. So when I get home at night, if I'm feeling a little tired, or if there's a special on TV that I want to watch or whatever, like, it's a lot easier to just make the decision, like, oh, you know what, okay, it's not the end of the world if I don't make a post today. It's not the end of the world if I don't do this or that or the other thing. And that kind of thinking can become addictive too. Like that, oh, don't worry, if I didn't worry about it today, and then it can lead to the opposite to thing, which is like, after a few days of doing that, you can start to feel guilty, and then it feels like you have a lot to do and you feel overwhelmed, for me anyway. So there's two sides to having a job and an income to support your art career. It can make life more stable and a lot easier. It can give you money to invest in your art career for things like doing events, for things like buying the chair to stay elevated, and buying the banner to make your table look good, and buying the tent to do outdoor things, and buying all the merch to have at your table to make your art look more professional and have many items accessible to many different people at many different price points, etc. So all of that stuff takes money. So whether your money is coming from your art career or whether it's coming from a job, investing your money back into your art career is important, and investing your time is too. So right now, the money part isn't that as complicated. I'm finding a harder time motivating myself to invest the time in it right now, to be
I think you got a
frankly
healthy
honest.
balance. You got a healthy balance. You're creating, and you're also taking time to enjoy life again after working so hard on the art career.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the retirement philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Is doing an artist, you're always on, and you're always thinking about the next thing you can do.
Sometimes you just want to put on a different mask
And just say, sorry, y'all,
Mm.
I'm retired.
Sorry, it's different me time. I'm hiding from social media for a bit and just doing in-person events.
You're retired from social media, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, definitely. For Mr. I was on 9 social medias every day, like, for, months and months. It was a long time. I was really into the social media thing, and, like, it got to me eventually. But it also gave me a chance to step back and look at my art career from a little bit of a bigger view, and see that because I was working so hard on it, I didn't have a good balance in my life, and I wasn't really happy. It wasn't really something that I was enjoying as much anymore, because it wasn't giving me that rush of sales. It wasn't really covering my bills. I was going into debt doing it, and it's hard to stay passionate and positive about something that's driving you into debt and
insane,
and eating up your time, so that your relationships suffer around it. Relationships with whoever, your family, your friends, your whatever, your social circle, which was happening to me. I was I didn't have money to take the bus. People would invite me places, and I didn't have $4 to take the bus. I'm like, look, I have like $8 to last me the week, and I gotta eat. So, like, I'm buying some rice and some bread and like margarine and whatever. Like, I sacrificed for my art career a lot, and eventually the sacrifices, like, just didn't add up to like being enjoyable anymore. So that's why I went and got the job, and we'll see how it all evolves. And that's another reason that Jeremy and I are doing Arty Time, because we want to document the phases and ups and downs of an art career, and the different ways that we'll evolve to deal with the different challenges that come up along the way, whether it be social media algorithms, or whether it be realizing that we need a chair to sit higher up on, or whether it be retiring.
But all has to do with, like, it's all the same thing. When you're talking about the algorithms and the thing that you went through, I'm trying to weather that storm by retiring.
Mm.
And just taking it easy, not pushing, just doing my thing. And then eventually there'll be post-retirement. I'll come out of retirement when things are better.
Mm.
When I've decided to use new apps and have new social media philosophies,
Mm-hmm.
about, I don't know, letting the content creators have their say and not necessarily let money and ads truly just destroy everything.
Like there's got to be a social media where it costs $1 a year to be a member, and there's no ads. You only see stuff from pages that you liked, and like.
No, because once we pay, they're gonna now make extra money with the ads.
I don't care. No, there's not gonna be ads because if 1 billion people are paying a year, then there's an entrepreneur out there who's not gonna sell his soul for his billion a year. He'll keep the company. He won't put it public. There won't be shareholders, and he'll be like, "Fuck you! I'm making $1 billion a year. I don't need to make 10 billion. I'm happy with $1 billion." And that person is going to create the social media that everyone in the world will want to join because everyone's going to see what they want to see, not what the social media platform decides they want you to see based on what their advertisers are paying. Because if you're paying that $1 a year and whatever, like, so what if they raise it to $2 a year or $3 a year? If you're getting what you want out of it, I don't care. Charge me $29.99 a month. I'd rather pay that for the old Facebook than be exposed to the Facebook the way it is today. Even with ad blocks, I mean, you still end up seeing trash on Facebook. Even following all the awesome things, you still end up seeing trash on Facebook. And Instagram's getting worse by the day too. And they're removing the social proof of how many likes people are getting. Slowly they're testing that out, so it's like it's harder and harder to get seen on there. It's harder and harder to get new people to follow you because if new people don't see 2,000 people followed you, and we as content creators spent years building up that social proof, and now they're taking it away. So it's like all that work we did for years and years and years, attracting people to their platform as much as their platform allowed us to expose our art is, I don't know, it feels like being held hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that feeling. And neither does almost any other small business owner that I know, and that's why they have the issues they do as platforms for content creators. That's why a lot of your favorite content creators, you never see anything from them anymore because they just got fed up trying to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, there's gonna be people that are gonna do less and less.
I'm one of them. I used to post twice a day religiously. Because back in the day when algorithms on Facebook were chronological, you'd have people, like I had people following me in Europe and people following me in America and Canada and whatever. There was very different time zones, and if you didn't post for your European fans, they wouldn't see anything of your post because they'd have to scroll 7 or 10 hours back into their feed. So I used to post twice a day, every day, when I was first growing on Facebook. Now it's been like, I don't know, I think other than the posts I posted about my events, I haven't posted new art or a new product or anything in about 20 days or 18 days or something like that on Facebook. And I stopped posting on Instagram because Instagram just banned me from, liking, commenting, following people, probably because of the fact I'm using a third-party app, which we spoke about in the last episode. I don't use social medias on my phone just because it's pollution that I don't need on my phone. And so Facebook and Instagram are pretty much dead to me. Like it's as much as
So we're both retired.
Yeah, we're both sort of retired in our own
This is retirement.
ways.
This episode is called Retirement.
Retirement Party and Jim Carrey, Jordan.
We'll come back. We'll make our comeback.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
They will not keep us down.
They can keep us down.
We'll post on YouTube.
Yeah. And then we'll post on TikTok or wherever else we need to post or whatever else we need to do. Like right now, what I need to do is finish paying my debts back so that I can hire a social media person. So like I'm still moving towards that. I don't know what your long-term plan is, but I have one. I'm glad I have one.
Chewy Susie.
The Chewy Susie.
I haven't tried my Chewy Susie.
Mm.
I can see myself doing that for a week.
Mm-hmm. I can see you doing things for like 3 days. That's about your limit.
Yep. And then I'll have like a painting about it, and also the painting, the Chewy Susie week.
The Chewy Susie.
But who knows? Like, the Chewy Susie could make money.
The Chewy Susie does make money. I just bought one for $28.
And I would buy one too. Chewy Susie. It's so good.
It is.
Okay, so that's my plan. And then after that, maybe come out of retirement. Who knows?
Have you listened to the new Tool album?
No. You haven't?
No. I haven't listened to it either. They made me wait 10 years to get it. No, I just saw your tattoo there with the eye, so that's what made me think of it.
I saw a poster for it.
They made me wait
mall.
10 years for hearing it, so I'm going to make them wait 10 years before I buy it. I'm not in a rush to listen to it.
Well, that's why you got to say a little bit on social media. You can't be like fully retired.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to make your jokes here and there, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean,
I think it's the Tool thing.
Ideally, you want to be posting daily. Just ideally, that's what it is. You want to post every day. You want to be an episode every day, so people have that regularity in their schedule and your schedule. Right now, I'm not taking my own advice on that, and I kind of suck for that. Got to admit, I kind of suck for that. I really should get back into it. Hard to find that fucking motivation, especially after I'm tired. 16 days in a row, no day off, no sleep in, no day that I don't have to set an alarm the next day. So it's it's catching up to me. But this Saturday is my first day off, and it'll be 19 days in a row of no day off by the time Saturday rolls around. So I'm gonna have a nice sleep in.
It's
gonna have some cake. I'm gonna have some of that Chewy Susie, and it's gonna be.
Listen, you buy your Chewy Susie.
But that's probably when I'm gonna get back into the art more, because I'm gonna have time. I'm gonna be relaxed. I'm not gonna feel stressed. I'm not gonna feel like it's more work on top of work that I just came home from work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where I'm at right now. When I come home from work, I don't feel like doing more work. I already did work, made my money. I'm good. Kind of want to relax now. And I'm still painting a lot. That's the thing. I actually have paintings that I haven't released yet. Just because it's like I'm too lazy to do the social media thing. Take the picture, upload it to my website, upload it to the social media, write the blog. It's long, so. Good news is there's new art in the pipeline, ready to show you guys. Once I get that motivation, have that day off, I'll take a picture and I'll get some stuff up there. There's some new shoes coming, ready to show you. There's a new crystal grid coming out. There's what else?
There's many shoes.
There's hoodies coming out that I haven't released online yet. What else? There's other things that I haven't. There's a whole painting, Pacific Northwest, with a whole line of products coming behind it that I haven't shared. So there's things coming, and that's the one thing about not being as active is I do have a lot of content ready to get ready to go out once I get that fire lit again. And whatever, everybody needs a break. Everybody needs to relax a little bit in their life and find a good work-life balance. Part of starting a business back when I was just getting sober from alcohol and stuff like that. A lot of other entrepreneurs who we're sober too, and they told me, they're like, look, once you start your own business, you're probably going to become a workaholic and you're going to suffer for it. And it's a lesson that a lot of entrepreneurs have to go through when they're that addictive personality. So that's kind of what happened to me. I'm like, oh no, that won't happen to me. Don't worry, I'll find my balance. And then, I end up fucking fully addicted into my art career, and no time for personal life, and no money. Everything's going into my art career, and all my time and all my effort. And then when that kind of stopped really working, it was I had to look around and be like, shit, what did I do? I have no time for friends. I had no time for personal, hobbies and stuff outside of my art career. Anything I did that wasn't directly related to my art career felt like I was wasting time that I needed to do because I needed to make the money to pay my bills from my art and keep it all going. So
yeah.
There's
a balance to be found.
Yeah.
And you're better off doing that for the long run and having endurance than blowing a tire and and freaking out.
And we had a whole episode calling Get Help, about having people help you, volunteers and whatever, hiring people. And I read a quote earlier today that said you go faster alone, but you go farther together. So like, man, I really did. I went far alone. I
Fast.
went fast alone. My art career went from my first painting to I quit my job to do art full time in under 3 years. But then I didn't build a team to help me keep that going. I kept trying to do it alone, and at the time when all I had to do was hit share on Facebook 300 times a day, and I wouldn't get blocked for doing that, then I didn't need a team to do that. It took 40 minutes. And then, the rest of the day I was replying to people, but that was fun because it was interacting with all kinds of people who were super into my art. And those are the people that ended up buying stuff from me, So, but then once I started getting blocked and everything, anyway, we've talked about the Facebook algorithm bullshit a lot. It's like, now we're talking about like what else we can do to get out there and to keep going. And finding a balance in life is one of those things that's important for long term, your business and your mental health too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm starting to realize that like a lot of what I'm doing is just entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So the storyline is always important.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the retirement saga. What was that? There was golf. It's everything you wanted in retirement. Maybe there'll be a jacuzzi cruise. Where you're on a jacuzzi on a cruise.
Are you gonna play shuffleboard?
Yes.
It's not retirement if there's no shuffleboard.
My favorite one is
there needs to be a shuffleboard.
My favorite one is where you throw the cachon and then
throw the cachon.
The little wood ball, and then you try and throw those other things. It's close. Yeah.
Okay.
That game's the best.
Yeah.
That game's the best.
Or are you talking petanque or bocce?
They're both I think the same, but one is made out of wood.
Yeah, I don't know. They're similar.
Bocce's wood, but the other one is like metal.
Cool.
That's a good game, bro. You knock everyone else out of the way. It's like curling, but on grass. In my retirement years, I'd like to start that. Start playing that.
Cool. What else are you gonna get like white pants and white shoes and go to Florida for the winter?
I just made the white shirt today. You saw it?
You need white pants and white shoes. The white shirt is like okay, but
all
if
white.
You're gonna be really retired. Yeah, you need to wear white shoes and white pants, and they've got to be like Payless shoe store shoes. With some orthotics in them, like your Dr. Scholl's at the very least.
Okay, I'll make.
If you're gonna be golfing, you need some comfy shoes. And
for sure.
If you're gonna be retired, you're gonna be on a fixed income, so you need to watch your pennies and get those Payless.
I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
The retirement also makes you save money.
Retirement makes you save money. It also means you should probably start getting up at like 4:30 a.m.
Well, it's almost 4:30 a.m.
Start calling people at 8 a.m. in the morning because you've been awake for 4 hours already and you forget that most people sleep in on Saturdays because you're retired and you don't know what day of the week it is anymore.
I already have that going for me.
So then you get like people angry at you for waking them up. And
I don't have a phone.
But then you're like, oh yeah, ha ha ha, I'm retired. Ha, I forgot. Ha. That's how it should go.
I think he paints a thing.
I don't know.
The real joke is that I've been retired. I've been retired for whenever the last time I worked at a dumb job.
Mm-hmm.
And painting is something that you can do while retired.
Mm-hmm.
You never retire as a painter, really.
No, I don't think.
So that's
I don't think artists can retire.
The ongoing joke
really
is that
retire.
eventually it's going to be like he's doing the same thing, even though he's retired. But this is what you would do if you were retired, and this makes a lot of money if you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
If you can sell art, then you quit your job in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You technically retired.
Well, that's pretty much what I used to tell people all the time when they asked me what I did when I was like just making my first, big art sales. I'm like, I feel like I'm retired. I get to do what I love every day, and it's amazing. I get to associate with the people that I want to and do what I want to do all day, every day, and it was awesome. And it'll come back to that eventually. Just finding the right avenue to reach the right people again, and a lot of people quickly again, and it'll come. I'm no doubt it will. And keeping up my website, keeping up appearances, and doing lots of local events is another way to do that because, at these local events you never know who you're gonna meet, and it's always important to get FaceTime when you're doing a creative business like we are. Wouldn't you say? Like, you build your business mostly on FaceTime, where I like, and FaceTime, I don't mean Facebook messaging. I mean actually being in front of people face to face. Whereas I built most of my business online. Right now, my business, I'm working for someone else. His business, he's not working for someone else. So take from that what you will. I think FaceTime is something that I should have invested more time in when I was also doing the online thing.
You can do it online too. You can do FaceTime. It's just showing your face. Showing the human face.
But meeting someone face to face and looking them in the eye and having a conversation with them and shaking their hand is a much different connection than adding someone on a social media. That
Bro, I believe that there's a subtle world where everyone's vibration towards you makes up what happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
So by meeting them, you're assuring that it's one way or the other. And you try not to have too many bad juju people.
Mm-hmm.
Bad juju people, you control them. And you're like, got that over there. This other world. Got caught filming that guy in the courtroom, and he's asserted bad jujuing me out there.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I had court. Didn't tell you?
No, you didn't tell me.
Oh, I went to court. Charges were dropped, my friend. But they caught me filming in the courtroom, and they had cops surround me and say, give me a phone, give me a pen. And then they erased the footage on my phone. It was really bad vibes at the end.
That sucks.
Yeah. But I got away, all charges dropped.
Alright, good. Well, that's good, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It would suck to spend your retirement years in jail.
No, it wasn't jail. It was like criminal because you don't go to court, it becomes criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Condemned of the Queen's Court, you did not appear.
Yeah, the big scam.
And then you have to appear and then like, sign this, and you're like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, charges dropped. That's literally what happened. We want you to sign this. I will not sign that. Alright, then we drop all charges. Right? Humiliate. Alright.
Nice. Yeah, see, I don't have a lot of experience with the courts. The only experience I have dealing with courts and lawyers was my divorce, and other than that.
It's
I
weird.
had
I would
criminal
prefer
charges.
it not be the case that there's giant buildings to handle matters of society. It's really like, it's a lot there. But I guess we need, to some degree, we need to have law, but this is madness.
Mm-hmm.
It's madness. You go in there, it's just like, it's the worst.
I
The
suppose
vibe is the worst. You have people who have a big sense of authority in their judge's robe or the cop uniform or the lawyer.
Well, at least nowadays
the other
they
people
can't
are
come
just
up
like,
with like
"Eh,
terrible ways to torture you and try and get you to confess to things you didn't do and like. You know.
No, they just get you to sign like reasonable agreements.
Yes.
Just sign this reasonable agreement, and as soon as you sign it, now you're saying that you can't do this, this, and this, and if they catch you doing this, this, and this, there will be more reasonable agreements.
Mm-hmm.
And some are like, you can't be near a park. You can't go near a park. You can't be out at night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't be out at night. You're done. So
Yeah, no, I know people who had the you can't be out after 10 p.m. thing
And that's-
for a while.
But that's not legal to impose it on someone. But it's legal if you agree and sign it.
Mm.
And that's what will end up happening. They just sign this. Okay then. You can't be out at night, and then you're like, oh. So I was a little worried about that kind of stuff. I'm allowed at night. I can come to your house. Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And if ever it gets too crazy, I'll just move to Ontario.
Worst case, Ontario. Worst case, Ontario. There you go.
Or New Brunswick, whatever. That's the funniest thing about it. You know, like, oh, I'm not allowed to owe you money? Cross some order? Okay, okay.
Yeah, no, it's I definitely knew people that lived in Costa Rica because they owed lots of people or institutions money in the States, and they just
Of course.
fled and never went back.
Just a new, whatever, new life.
Yeah, it
Don't
was
commit
it was
suicide.
also harder for them to build a life there, like
Well, of course.
you know, because they don't have any credit and they can get a bank account and things like that. Anyway, where there's a will, there's a way. Let's put it that way. And I think that's a big factor and like an underlying theme in Arty Time. Where there's a will, there's a way. Like you'll always find a way, and that's part of what our constant evolution of the way that we make our art careers work is hopefully something that people can learn from and that will learn from. I know I watch all our episodes. Jeremy usually doesn't watch episodes after we post them up. I usually watch them because I go post them on my own channel and post them on my website to have a nice archive of them. And usually when I'm doing that, like I'll download it, and like as I go to it to download it, it's playing, and it just leave it play while I'm doing all the rest of the stuff. And it's very different listening to myself after and listening to what we're talking about, because it all happens so fast. And then when I'm listening to it again, like sometimes I'll catch stuff and I'll be like, oh, that was pretty awesome what we said there. Or like I'll forget something that we talked about that was like, oh yeah, like I should pay more attention to what I'm saying on Arty Time because it's good advice, and I'm not doing it in my own career right now. And I'm a sales manager in a call center, and when I work in a call center, I've always been a person, like as a manager, who believed that I shouldn't be the manager if I can't sell the product that I'm managing people to sell. So I never believed in working for a manager that wasn't a sales guy who got promoted, because like otherwise you can't tell me how to do my job if you never did my job. So I kind of feel that same way
with art
and hosting Arty Time. So
why is just in a lull of sales?
Yeah, well, I'm in a lull of like not doing art full time right now. My income's coming from somewhere else, so sometimes like that gets to me where I'm like, like I'm supposed to be this art podcast host and giving people all this amazing business advice, and I have this art business and all these products I sell, and blah, 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 but at the end of the day I'm working somewhere else. So like there's
it's still
a little bit of resentment there still towards fucking Facebook and everything else, but yeah.
But it could just be for now, because now that you have a little bit more income, you can come back into your art career in a new way.
Yeah, and like I said, I have that plan. Like the Albanian
Air Max,
banner,
Air Joner.
Yeah, the banner, the Albanian wife, the high chair,
Air Jordan.
the cake, and eating it too.
Yeah. So there is always a hope,
and
it's not really about just giving up. It's about like adapting to the new playing field. Because you'll still make art, and the thing that's cool about art is it's like chronological in the sense that like this could be 5 years old, and that's dope. And you can't just paint one and say that it's 5 years old. That's lame.
No, yeah,
like you actually have a whole bunch.
Like while this art lull is happening for me, I'm building up my art bank, and then eventually, like
17.
because the fact my art is very consistent in style, even during this lull and whatever, I'm still painting stuff in the same style. I might be painting a little less, but I'm still building up my art bank and making deposits in it regularly. And I'm still painting in the same style. So eventually either social media is going to blow up again and somewhere is going to come along that makes it really easy for content creators to reach their fans again. Or galleries are going to notice that, hey, this guy is very consistent and there's not a lot of artists that do that. Maybe we should represent him, and maybe I'm going to end up getting my career going again that way, or blowing up again that way. And you never know. As long as you keep the faith and keep on creating and don't give up and keep getting your stuff out there and keep hosting Arty Time once a week or two, like keep focused on it at least a little bit, and keep some momentum.
I don't think there was many artists that were big in their younger years, but it takes their younger years to make them big later. I think most artists pop at 40 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's because they have been doing it for so long that it's what propels them. They're the ones who make it, basically. They're the ones stop doing it at 40. And you're more pronounced as an artist as you get older. If you see a 50-year-old artist, he's definitely different than his other peers. So keep at it, basically. You're going to go through ups and downs, but if you keep at it, you'll be that funky character that everyone will talk about, and they'll buy your art.
Like the art world is full of stories of like artists being discovered by big gallery owners and or bands that use their art on their covers, and now like all their fans are fans of this or that artist, stuff like that. Those kind of stories happen all the time where art careers blow up overnight out of nowhere. And then where artists have comebacks after they kind of faded out of the scene for whatever reason for a while. Maybe the art they were doing is out of fashion. Maybe the whatever, and that's partially why I do mandalas and stick with them even in between the 80s inspired stuff like this. is because I think mandalas are timeless. There's always going to be people that will resonate with symmetry just on a very, base level. When a human looks at a nice, beautiful, symmetrical, colorful pattern, there's something that captures their attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Look, we're gonna call it a day, and we're gonna go have some muffins.
Yeah. Do you wanna have our retirement muffin party on Arty Time? I'll go run and get some muffins. All right. So, all right. Let me get muffins.
So now that we're retired, we're about to have low carb paleo muffins. I'm really looking forward to this recipe so that I don't have to pay $30 for a cake. But I'm willing to pay $30 for this cake. And quite a bit more for the recipe.
Here we go.
Did you explain what it was? It was like cinnamon.
Honestly, she didn't explain what the one in the middle is. I think this one's the orange, and I think that one's the chocolate. But I haven't tried this one, so I'm gonna try this one.
It looks like a lemon or poppy seed.
It smells like cinnamony.
This one's the same thing that I just had?
I think so. Oh. I'm trying to peel off the thing and there is no thing.
No.
Like, it was obviously baked in a little thing.
I know what it is before I
ripples in
choose.
it.
I don't want to... What is it?
It's delicious. It's lemon.
Lemon poppy seed, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm. So congratulations on your retirement. Let's cheers.
To retirement.
To retirement. Mm.
Is that same cake again?
Mm-hmm.
In muffin form. This isn't right.
Mm.
This isn't right. So since it's keto, it's mostly fat. So like the inside is all. Is that one chewy too?
It's pretty chewy, yeah.
Chewy and gooey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just like as a final note, like if you've got any digestive health problems, if you got any inflammation problems, if you're trying to lose weight, get on the keto diet. Like look into it. It's amazing. I went on it a year ago. And it changed my health drastically. I lost about 60 pounds and like totally cleared up. I had IBS for like 3 years, irritable bowel syndrome, which really sucked, and was part of the reason that it made it really hard for me to keep my art career going, because I was depressed. My body wasn't absorbing nutrients. I was cranky and sad. I slept 12 to 14 hours a day, but getting on keto diet cured that. And helped me lose 60 pounds. I feel like I have more energy than I have in a long time. I'm able to think better. I was able to recognize the fact that, hey, my work-life balance is way out of whack. I got to get that under control a little bit. And, I was able to make the decision to go get a job, whereas when I had IBS, I was worried about going to get a job because I was worried I'd get fired for going to the bathroom 20 times during my shift, or that the bosses would think I'm a cokehead running off to the bathroom to do blow every, 10 minutes or whatever when I'm really going and having diarrhea. And it's just nervous leaving the house, you suddenly have to go all the time. Now I don't have that problem anymore, and it's thanks to keto diet. So yeah.
Did you start?
Oh yeah, that's what I was waiting to, I'm pretty sure. We haven't been doing it for a year, no way.
Can I take that?
Yeah.
The noise it made? Sounds like polyurethane. Like foam. Nah, that one. That one's untouchable.
I don't know, that one's pretty good too. But I haven't had this one.
It's more like an afternoon crumpet with a tea,
Mm-hmm.
That's an all-round crack ball. That is just too much.
Well, now I need to eat the crack ball.
No, do it. You're just gonna remember that it's like, oh, Jesus.
You're right. Yeah.
But this is probably the way that it's going to be in the future. All the snacks are going to be like very low carb. Because that's the thing that is causing the inflammation and the IBS. Because all we really did, and you can do it if you're vegetarian, vegan, meat eater, all people can be keto, and it just strictly means that you're not having carbs. That's all it really is, and high fats. But fats could be butter, oils, coconut oil, so there could be vegans and all types of things that are going on this. And then the cool thing is, you obviously want to have the muffins and the chocolate chips, cookies, and all that stuff, and they're coming up with ways where you totally can. And maybe this is how it was back in the day. But they were good for you, you know?
Yeah, that was fucking delicious.
So, this has been Arty Time. We'll try and get the Lazy Susie recipe for you guys.
We're working on it.
I'll come out of retirement for that.
And, yeah. So, I guess in the Arty Time spirit, Arty on, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Episode 24.
Yep, episode 24. So, like, we should start it with, like, boop, boop, beep. Did you ever watch 24?
Oh.
Bro, that show was like crack. That show was like crack.
What? Is this a girl who's kidnapped or something?
Which was Kiefer Sutherland. There was like a bunch of seasons anyway. Yeah, don't start watching that. If you've never watched 24, do not start watching it. It's seriously like having a crack habit. You're going to be like, just one more episode, just one more episode, just one more episode. 2 hours before you have to go to work, you're going to be like, fuck it, I have to be at work in 2 hours anyway. I'm just going to watch 2 more episodes and go to work without sleeping.
For real?
Yes. They were the first show that was like broadcast that way. Anyway, whatever. If you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you're not. Peace.